Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I would like to share my birth story. I had my son 2 years ago. He is now 2, obviously. And so 2 years ago, I had my son. And it wasn't a normal birth story. And I know there probably isn't a normal birth story, and everybody has a different story and different things that go on and different things that happen. I had extreme PTSD, and I think they call it white coat syndrome. And I didn't really know that I had this up until I had my son. I knew that growing up, every doctor's appointment and every time my blood had to get drawn, like I knew I'd get super anxious and kind of emotional, almost like this depression would come over me. I didn't really know that that was PTSD, but I also didn't really go through anything super extreme in my teenage or adult years. When I was a child, I had severe eczema from head to toe, and it would cause me to get staph infection pretty often. And so I had staph infection just in different places on my whole body for around 5 to 6 years. And I remember going in the hospital, and they had to hold me down. They had to lance the boils on my skin. And as a young child, like, it was really traumatic. And so I think some of those things are why I deal with this now as an adult. Again, I didn't know that I had white coat syndrome until I had my son, but I got induced at 39 weeks. And when I went into my hospital room and I saw the gown they wanted me to wear in the bed, I just immediately started crying. And granted, this was my first baby, so I was already emotional. I was already kind of scared, didn't know what to expect, kind of fearful, very fearful. And so even at this point, I didn't really even know that it was PTSD. I thought I was just like normally scared, like any woman would be. But as we got into, you know, the induction process, they had to do lots of cervix checks on me. And it was during a cervix check that actually my blood pressure skyrocketed. It went to like 180 over 120. And in that moment, like, everything went white. And I even asked my nurses, like, am I dying? Am I dying? Like, guys, it really felt like I was about to cross over to the other side. And at this point, I was on laughing gas. I had a pillow over my head. I had worship music going on, just trying to stay calm, trying to pray, trying to just stay in God's presence. And it was after the cervix check, like, I told the nurse, I kind of freaked her out. I was like, I've never felt God's presence before like that in my life. She's like, okay, we're done with that. And she took away the laughing gas. But I was like, no, I'm serious. Like, even among all of the fear and the panic, like, I really felt God's peace in that moment, like, more than I have in my entire life, as scary as it was. But after that, they were kind of like scared, kind of wondering, like, are we gonna have to give her a C-section? Is she gonna be able to do this? And so I think they offered me fentanyl, or they did the epidural, and we went with the epidural. So I got the epidural. I was actually only 3 centimeters dilated, which was super, super early. I didn't eat breakfast. I was too anxious. And then right after I got the epidural, I was like, dang it, I'm hungry. And if you know, they don't give you any food when you're on an epidural. And so I was on the epidural for 24 hours before I had my son. It actually calmed me down a bit. They were actually able to do the cervix checks and do the things that they needed, because I couldn't really feel anything. I would still put a pillow over my head. I'd still play worship music. I would still pray, just trying to not be present in that moment. And then actually, I was actually, I was allergic to the epidural, so they gave me IV Benadryl, and I think I was like 6 centimeters at that point. I'm telling you, that IV Benadryl is great. It was amazing. I knocked out up until the moment I was supposed to push. I remember being like knocked out though, and like kind of pushing on my best friend's back with my foot during the contractions, because I could feel those. Obviously, you feel the pressure, not the pain, but it was still like painful. It was a lot. But I remember thank God, she let me just push on her back with like all my force, and it was great. But I remember waking up and I was ready to push, and I told my mom, like, get me a bedpan. I'm going to go to the bathroom. Like, I'm going to get me a bedpan right now. They actually came in, checked me. I was ready to push. So as I began pushing, it was like a couple minutes in, I was like, do you see him? Do you see him? They're like, no, this is going to be a while. He was out in like 23 minutes. And they're like, that's crazy because average for like a new mom was like an hour and a half, 2 hours of pushing. But I pushed for 23 minutes. I'm super thankful for that because I was already there for like 2 days. It was a lot. And so he was out. It was like the best feeling ever to have this baby out of me. I did not love pregnancy. It was not the best. I just felt just not myself and kind of like didn't want to talk to people, didn't want to socialize, and that's not me at all. And I mean, I was kind of getting depressed in pregnancy, and so, but the moment he was out, I just felt like a brand new woman. I felt new and whole and happy and joyful. And I remember going from labor and delivery to mom and baby, and I was like, I cannot wait to do that again. I cannot wait to have another baby, which was crazy. And now that we're talking about having another baby, I'm a little nervous because I don't really want to go through that again, but I want another baby. And so I just thought I would share this story because it is coming up a lot in conversations and in my mind, and it's just something that I'm thinking about as we're getting ready to maybe have another baby. And so I just thought I would share this in case there's any other people who have experienced the same thing. I would be curious to know about it. We can talk about it. I do want to encourage you guys that, like, even in all the PTSD, even in all the fear, all the anxiety, I would ask God, like, during it all, like, where are you in this room? Like, I need to know you're with me. I need to know you're with me. Because when you're in that state of PTSD, it's like nothing can calm you down. Like, it was so weird, and, like, I didn't understand it until it happened to me, of course. Why would you? But like nothing can, like none of the usual things that would keep me calm were doing it. They were not keeping me calm. But it was just after when I got home and I'm holding my baby, like I was just overwhelmed with just gratitude because God just reminded me, like, I had the best 2 nurses that I could have ever possibly had. And I know that that's where God was in the room. Like, He sent them. God used them. They were so patient with me and gentle and kind. They did everything that they could to calm me down, to keep me calm, to get me anything that they could. And they were just amazing. And I'm so thankful for those nurses. And I know that that's where God was, and He was using them. He answered my question. You know, it was just like after that moment, after the fact. I actually ended up staying in the hospital until Friday. So I went in on Monday, had my baby on Wednesday, and stayed until Friday. So it was an experience. Next time, I don't know if I want to get induced, if I can stay away from that. I think if I went in naturally, I would just be in too much pain to care about anything else, and I would just want to get the baby out. But we'll see what happens. Comment below if you have also struggled with PTSD or white coat syndrome. I would love to talk about it. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for listening.